All right, guys. So thanks everybody for getting on tonight. So we are going to go over some things that Molly and I learned and soaked up while we were at the Platinum Edge conference this past weekend in Dallas. For those of you who might not be sure what the Platinum Edge conference is, it is a independent Beachbody conference put on by our upline coach. She puts it on independent from Beachbody, so nothing to do with them. Obviously, it is Beachbody related because we're all her coaches that are invited to it. But to give you an idea of where it stands in comparison to like a Super Saturday or Summit, if you've been to one but not the other or none yet, it's very similar to a DC Super Saturday that we've been to, size-wise. You're all in the same room. You do the workouts in the same room, the trainings, the lectures, speakers, everything. But it's over 2 days, so Friday to Sunday. And the actual, lectures and topics, though, are more what Christine Dwyer and the leaders in her downline think that their teams need to hear about. So it's not necessarily about it's not about products, it's not about marketing, it's not about things we need to know going on corporate wise. It's about what they feel our teams need personally to grow this business. So Christine is one of the top coaches in the company. She's been with the company for 8 years since it got started. Kind of give you an idea of where we fall in the downline. She has over 200,000 coaches in her downline, so that's half our company. And to give you a little bit of a picture, there was about 850 of us there. So that just kind of goes to show you how large her downline is, but how many people actually took the time to go. And not saying, faulting anybody, couldn't go, not go, whatever. But that just kind of goes to show you how many people are actually not maybe working the business, which is not a huge majority. So a lot of times when people say, the market's oversaturated, I could never be a coach, or you're going to get these objections from people that you might ask to be on your team, just give them just kind of think in your head, obviously the market's not oversaturated. If there was only 850 of us in this room learning from her and the team, there's so many more people in the world, in the country, the US alone, and then Canada to help, that's just a small number. So we're not oversaturated. Okay, so one of the big things that they kind of was the whole show of the weekend was how to be, who are you? Who am I? Who are you? Who are we? Because yes, we are a Team Beachbody coach. Yes, we are, a coach on Team Be Fit, Be Free, Heart and Hustle. But who are you? Down to the nitty gritty, because it is not Beachbody that is going to make you successful. It is you that is going to make you successful. And can you guys hear since I have my headphones in? Okay, good. Just want to make sure. I was that's a lot of talking, and I didn't check first. Okay, so first thing that the one thing that they said that is really big that and I will be 100% honest with this. I went last year to Platinum Edge, and this was a big topic then, and I wish I had taken it more seriously. I wish I had listened when actually it was our upline coach, Michelle Myers, who talked about it. It was her topic last year, branding. I wish I had taken her advice, all of their advice at that moment in time, because a whole year later, I kind of feel like I could have had a slight edge, whereas I might not. So this business is not going to work because Beachbody makes it work for you. You need to make it work for you. You need to find out who you are and what value you can add to people. The face of this business, like I said, sorry, I have my notes. We already went through that. Sorry. I'm not feeling good, guys. All hopped up on medicine. If you don't know who you are and you don't know why you're in this business, then first and foremost, you need to work on yourself. Nobody else is going to be able to figure out who you are unless you know who you are. And that kind of only makes sense if you think about it, because we are where we are today in coaching because we worked on ourselves. Like, we all started out in challenge groups. We all started out working on our health and fitness. And so you have to work on yourself to get to the coaching, to be able to solidify what kind of coach you are and not just be other noise in the atmosphere from the other coaches. So own who you are. Don't be afraid of it. You're not going to be perfect. Nobody's perfect. Use a slight filter, but be who you are. Be you, because that is who people are going to connect with. You know, a lot of times you will see people who take posts verbatim and copy them on theirs and just change up the picture or whatever. And it can guarantee you, I could say from experience, I've done that. Not a good thing, because obviously it's like plagiarizing. But, you know, I do that because I think, oh, that was a great post. Well, I do that and put it on mine, and it didn't get the same kind of reach or response because my audience knew that's not who I am. Like, I may not talk like that. I may not, it just wasn't me. And so when you build that like trust in people and they follow you, they're going to know if that's you or not. So you don't have to reinvent the wheel with this business, but you do need to make sure that it's you who is coming across in your posting. So, okay. Like I said, last year when Michelle Myers talked about branding, she had us do a little activity there, and I was kind of like, oh, like I'm not a brand. Like, I don't know what the hell she's talking about. And I was like, you know, I like, for instance, Heather has her blog and she's amazing with recipes and paleo and stuff like that. I don't do anything like that. I don't have anything. There's other people who, you know, like their brand is, I don't know, like anything, like trying to think. Michelle's brand, she is first and foremost about God, and she puts all of her teachings, her business, her workings, you know, she works through him. That's her brand. But I was like, I don't have a brand. I'm going to be honest. And I sat there and I kind of did the activity, and I was like, this is stupid because I like the beach and I'm a mom, and that's it. Well, that's who I am. And simple as that. It's so, so simple. And I think what really solidified it for me were these activities we did this year with a couple different presenters. And as I've evolved over the last year and kind of looked at what I post and what gets traction and what I like to talk about and things like that, I've kind of figured out, yeah, it's not so hard. Like, I don't have to create something. I don't have to write a book. I don't have to create a blog. Like, it's not that difficult. Like, I still have a brand, just being me. Let's see. Hang on. Oh no, girlfriend. If you're in Team Iron, you know that they are very much faith-based. And if that is you, you go. Like, that is you. You need to be you. And this is your business. So, you know, you need to be you. That's the audience that you're going to connect with. You can't try to, I don't want you to like not put something forward that's not you, or be afraid to, because you don't want to attract people that you're not going to jive with. You don't want to attract people that, you know, aren't going to get you and aren't going to want to like be associated with you. And be on your team, things like that. So you be you, and if it's faith and Jesus, and that is awesome. No shame in that at all. Let's see. So, okay. So yes, then we did this activity, a few of them there, and this really made it a lot easier for me. So we're going to do 2 of them. There was a couple, and I had trouble deciding, but I think this was a really great one to start with. So if you, for instance, were to go to my Instagram or my Facebook, it would be like, what do you see from there? What kind of person am I? And that's what you want it to emulate. And you want to brand yourself as everything you are, unrelated to Beachbody and fitness. So pretty much you want to always talk about whatever encompasses you, and then Beachbody and fitness are going to be very small in that, because they're not you. You are just them, and they have worked for you. So for me, like, I realized looking through my page the last day or 2 that I'm kind of obsessed with food in a healthy way. I'm kind of obsessed with coffee. I love inspirational quotes. So yeah, I am that girl that scrolls Pinterest right before I go to bed and just reads quotes because I like it. I love the beach. And I mean, you guys know me, like this, I'm a mess. Like, this is how I look all the time. Barely any makeup, hair in a bun, always with a headband on. Like, I'm not a style girl. I don't got like the style going on, talking about products, things like that. Like, no, I just wear the Target tees and that's it, and headbands every day. So that's kind of me. And I'm going to use like a little bit of a broader scale. If you were to go to another coach's page, you would see that she talks about, a lot of times like 4 or 5 things in her life that aren't related to Beachbody. And most of the time, like every day, she talks about these things. And you know that she's about these things because it's her life. So it's her cat. It's that she is a freaking sneaker fanatic. She's obsessed with the movie Rocky and French fries. So if you were to go to her page, you would automatically know, like, oh, this girl is super duper fan of French fries, like, no doubt. And then you would see that she could still be fit and she could still be healthy, but that's not what she is about. She's really about, wanting to have a different shoe every day, have French fries every time she can, but still be healthy. So your activity is, we're going to take like a minute. I want you to write down 3 to 5 things that are you that are not Beachbody or fitness related. So we'll do that for 1 minute. And go. Couple more seconds. Don't think too hard. Real easy stuff. All right. I'm going to call on, because I know she loves it, Jody. Tell me what you got written down.
So I kind of thought you were gonna call on me. So I love pizza, like a lot. Like we eat it every weekend. And I love theater, and I love my pets. I love expensive clothing, but I love not buying it at expensive prices. And I also really love to do home decor. So.
Okay, so those are the people, that is Jody's brand. Those are the people that, now we're talking about this in terms of growing your team and finding your tribe, even finding your people to help. I am all about not singling out who you're going to help physically, like health-wise, because I just feel like we all have a gift and we all have the solution. We should be able to help whoever we can. But when it comes to trying to duplicate that to our coaches and help them do the same thing and grow a team for them, you need to be about your brand. That's what you need to be incorporating. So I want to see, Jody talk about pizza. I want to see her talk about her dogs. I want to see her talk about, DIY stuff around the house. I want to see her talk about maybe she found these awesome fall booties at Nordstrom, but she knows she's going to find them online instead for 75% cheaper. So maybe she posts about stuff like that. And then 20% of the time, she's going to talk about Beachbody and fitness. She's still going to have her, and you also got to think of this in how are you, how many times a day are you posting? If you're someone who, posts 3 times a day, obviously your fitness one is going to be one of those all the time. But your fitness one, the other 2 should be about you and who you are. Did you want that pizza? But instead, you had your mason jar salad you prepped for the week. I know I've seen ones from Jody before where she talks about the food in the break room and stuff. And she shows her lunch next to it. So those are awesome things. And it's showing she's a lover of the bad stuff, just like everybody else. And she wants it, but she knows what she actually needs to not feel like shit after the next 3-4 hours at work after lunch. So that's the kind of stuff you want to share. And then about 2 to 3 times a month, you want to legitimately put out there with a post about a challenge group or about the business, things like that, blatant. But that's only because you're going to be blatant about them because you have going to be having all of this stuff come out about you and your brand, and people are going to know you, they're going to like you, and they're going to find trust in you. They're going to trust her that if she likes those booties from Nordstrom, they're going to trust that they can, or, she posts something like that, then they're going to trust, maybe I can go back to Jody's page and see if she posted any other great deals about outfits, because they're going to know she found deals before. She likes finding deals like that. Maybe they're going to refer back to her rather than somebody else and just search it on the internet. So they're going to know you, they're going to like you, and they're going to trust you. And then when you do pop those blatant, challenge group, business opportunity posts, invite them to a biz op call or whatever, then those people are your tribe. They're already going to like you and trust you. They're going to want to do whatever you say you're doing. And so that is how you should be building your brand. You should be building your brand off things that are not Beachbody related. You should be building your brand off of what makes you you. And you shouldn't be afraid to be you. And if you get into the idea that, this coach is doing this, or, that coach is doing that, or I'm not where they are, you are just doing yourself and anyone you can help a huge disservice by comparing. So just stop and just get back into focus, and realize you're not going to be like other people because you're you. You can't pretend to be someone else and hope that this business will work. It's just not going to be like that. Michelle's super successful, love her to death, but I can't pretend that I have this super strong attachment to, faith and Jesus. It's just, I've got my spirituality and faith and stuff like that, but me putting it out there like she does, that's not me. So then I might attract the wrong people. I might, then I'm just not going to jive with those people. So, and it's just simple as that. You basically want to find you and just hang out with that chick all the time. Yeah, and then you're not coming off authentic. Exactly. So you want to lead with your personal brand, not the product. You want to own your know, like, and trust factor. So, know what you are, know what people already like about you, and talk more about that because that's why they trust you. Okay. So did everybody find 3 to 5 things? Yeah, good. Yes. Okay. No, Carrie? Oh, yes. Okay. Yes. Okay. Then this was the other one that I thought was, it kind of drew out more ideas out of me than just like your basics, about what I post about and things like that. So they talked about, what if you looked at a magazine cover? Like if you picked up the Shape or something? I don't even read magazines. If you picked up Shape magazine, you knew on there that they were going to give you like a killer ab workout to do during your lunch break. They were going to give you some easy recipes. They were going to talk about relationships and how to, being in shape and all that good stuff makes you feel better. Makes your relationships thrive. They're going to talk about that stuff. So when you think about Cosmo, they post all this like crazy racy stuff. When you think about those like, I don't know, the ones that my mom reads, like the home and garden or whatever ones, you know that they're going to have DIY stuff. You know that they're going to talk about what season it is. You know that they're going to talk about what you could start planning or what you need to start doing to prepare your house for the winter, things like that. So look at yourself as if you were a magazine cover and just write down different things, like what your magazine about you would say. I thought that one was a little bit tougher, but better because it drew some extra things out of me, and I'll tell you. So think about that for a minute. What would your magazine say about you, your cover? And Molly doesn't have any activities to do because she did these. Oh, you didn't do this. Okay. So, now let me I'll use my stuff as an example, but why is this coming up? Okay. So this one got me thinking a little bit more because honestly, and if I had more time, I would have made a little, picture for you guys and it would have been easier to see. But she had a picture of her magazine cover and what it would look like and things like that. So it was a little bit easier for me to envision more quickly. So for me, something in there would be talking about organization because you guys know that I'm like a type A scheduler, like freak. I would talk about something about me is going to have like boy mom stuff in there, whether it's, talking about clothes, attitude, behavior, whatever. You would know that it's boy mom related. Migraines and anxiety, something I go through. My latest craze are my chia bowls. So my big thing that I want to like start doing is like super easy, quick, yummy breakfast like recipes to like kind of throw out there to people. Toddler activities. So, what we're doing throughout the day. Did we go to the park? Did we go to the trampoline place? Did we go to the library for story time? Things like that. this was one of the coaches there was like, if you want your business to succeed, you need to turn the TV off. But I'm going to say the opposite, and I'm kind of obsessed with TV. I am really good at turning it off when I need to, but I'm not going to get 3 seasons back in Grey's Anatomy. Don't you worry. The beach. Y'all know I'm obsessed with the beach. And like clothing. I wrote down style initially, but I didn't want people to think like, yeah, this chick's got style. Or $5 Target tees. So, style. Like that's just me. Like I'm always in my yoga pants. I'm always got those tees with the cool sayings on them, or like, the funny ones. That's just me. So my brand, my magazine cover would look like that. I'd probably have topics about anxiety and depression. I'd probably have topics about being a boy mom, topics about where to get the, funnest workout tank tops, easiest breakfast go-tos, things like that. So those are like my brands. So that's just another example. If you aren't sure what your brand is, that's totally okay. Because like I said, last year when I did these exercises there, I had no idea what my brand was. And I thought like, I don't have a brand unless I'm like an author of a cookbook or, a show, or I don't know, anything, if I invented something. But that's not the case. It's not going to happen overnight. You're not going to figure out your brand overnight, and it's going to evolve over time. It's always going to change because you're changing. So it's just like everything else. With coaching, you're in a certain season of your life. With your health and fitness journey, you're in a certain season. Your brand is just going to be in a season too, but stick with your brand. Embrace it, embrace who you are and who you want to become, because you're not going to get anywhere if you aren't just you. Because the people could just go to Amazon or go onto, the regular site and get the products, but that's not why they're getting them. They're getting them because of you. So be you. And even though it might be slower and harder at first, I think I really do honestly, truly believe that it's the best way to be successful long-term. Let's see. And what else? Yeah. So, they kind of killed the branding. And, the whole weekend I felt like, I even told Molly, I was like, oh my God, I need to go home and I need to like literally just not even be on Facebook for a whole month. Just need to hit my Basic Success Club 5. And I just need to like every day, like figure out who I am. Because I was like, I don't know. I still don't know. But after doing like a little bit of these activities, it really did help. And they're super quick. Another thing I would just suggest is if you have no idea, go on your Facebook or your Instagram and scroll through the last week or two, or go up and look back like a few months. What are you talking about? Can you tell what you're about? Because if you are looking at it and you're like about Energize, you're about yoga retreat, if you're about, your next accountability group, who's going to join me for 5 days of clean eating, who wants Shakeology samples, you're going to get lost in the feed and nobody's going to connect with you. But if you figure out that what you're posting about and you see you, that's what you need to continue to do. And then worst comes to worst, you really don't know who you are, reach out to some of your closest family members or friends and ask them, what are a couple things you would like say are my best qualities or things that I'm into? Like, what can you tell by this? All right. So, yeah, I don't know. I could go on about it all night. I really thought it was very important and very, like if you look at the more successful coaches or just long-term success, guys, it doesn't have to be, top coach like of the year or top earner, nothing like that, nothing crazy. Like it just has to be maintainable, a stream of income that brings you joy, that brings, health and wealth to your family in the fashion that you want it to be. But if you want it to be maintainable, like you do have to be you. So it's not just these top coaches that are talking about being you and you're having a brand and things like that. Like it really is like us too. like, you know, down here. So anything else about branding, Mel?
Were you going to talk about like how they were mentioning, well, basically this is something I guess about branding, but like understanding who you are and what you're about and what you know about, and not really trying to attract like female bodybuilders, right? Because that's not my wheelhouse. I don't know anything about female bodybuilders. And I think like we've probably all, maybe more so like on Instagram, gone down that path. I know I have, like, just trying to be like, oh, this person works out, like they would love Beachbody, but I don't know anything about CrossFit. I don't know anything about their world. So why am I trying to fit a square into a round hole, or whatever that saying is? So that was kind of like a little more clarity for me as well. So something to think about. Again, not saying you're like, you know, not trying to help everyone, but just kind of understanding who you identify with and who would identify with you.
Yes. Yes, and I can say that's right on point, because I know that I've gotten caught up in just finding those people who are already working out and already doing their thing and already have their jam, and I'm trying to convert them, and like it's not working. Like, I don't want to close them on this. Like, I want them to be open to it, and if it's not their jam, it's not their jam. Like, I need to just find the people. I just need to talk about it, be me, and the people whose jam it is, or it could be, like I thought, oh, this could be my jam, they will seek me out. You want to be someone who's sought out and not someone who just keeps seeking and seeking, because that'll just burn you out, guys. So yes. Okay. The next thing I'm going to talk about is another topic that was very interesting: Facebook Live. So most of you guys went live in the team page, which was amazing, and I loved it. I got very emotional through a lot of that. But Facebook Live, we had they had a speaker, Mari Smith, come to the conference, and I had never heard of her, but she is she was someone who this is kind of drawing a blank here. She is someone who specializes in marketing through social media and finding how you can be the most successful using social media. But then she was hired by, as she likes to call them, Zucks last year. So now she works for Facebook, and she is like their lead lady on how it all works, how to get people in the feeds, being seen, being known. So basically, Facebook Live is the way to go. It is the most underutilized tool. Video is the most underutilized tool on Facebook, not just Facebook Live, but video in general. They said that your posts, and if you do Facebook Live, you're going to get like, I think it was a crazy number. I don't have it down. Like 80% more traction in feeds than if you just throw up a picture, if you just throw up text. So your live videos. That being said, I know it's super scary, but even if you're super scared about it, just go on live for like 2 minutes and talk about how you're super scared to do it. Just go live and, do like a little introduction, like whatever. Hey guys, never done live before. Totally like shaking in my boots, but this is something I was challenged to do, and I need to get outside my comfort zone, just like, working out has gotten me outside my comfort zone. Being on a team has gotten me outside my comfort zone. I need to do this too. Anybody else scared of Facebook Live? And then that's it. Just kind of like end it. And then maybe people will resonate, and they'll be like, it is scary, and she just put herself out there. And so if she can act like a fool like that, I could do that too. And it's not that bad. So I think they were very much talking about Facebook Live in a, yes, Sarah has been doing awesome with Facebook Live. They were very much talking about Facebook Live in regards to like pages. So a lot of this will pertain to that, but I'm going to go with the fact that most of you guys are new, and most of you guys are still building up your friends list on Facebook, and you should. But I'm really like thinking that if you're looking at this long term and here in 1 year sort of thing, like you're going to be really glad that you started a like page now and didn't wait a year from now. Because if you significantly build your brand the right way, even via your personal page, but you also put some of these posts, like one post a day, if you also put some of these posts like once a day on your like page and just share that one over to your personal page, you're going to start to build that page and build content. So that way in a year, when you've built your brand, it's okay, Janine, when you've built your brand and people are knowing you, liking you, and trusting you, they're going to want to go follow you on that page too. So I think what would be a great thing would be if you came up with a goal for yourself, create a like page, doesn't have to be anything fancy, put up a nice picture of you as your profile picture, a nice cover photo, like maybe your family or maybe like a collage or something. And then once a day, I'm going to do it like this. I already have a like page, but I don't really do much on it. Once a day for 30 days, go live on there and talk about something. And the reason why I'm saying this is because the girl who talked about it said she did this, and she was like, oh shit, 30 days, like that's hard. What am I going to talk about? But she said when she got to the 5th day, she was like, oh, that Facebook Live, I'm going to go do that real quick. I got this, like no big thing. And it wasn't that every day she came up with like some fantastic, amazing, long content. It was just like quick things. Like, you're going to post inspiration in your challenge group anyway. Why not just go on Facebook Live on your page and speak that inspiration? You're going to make your shake anyway. Why not talk about how you used to go through the drive-thru every day, or what most people struggle with? And it's like snacking and eat, grab and go, stuff like that. So again, not all Beachbody, but your brand. Make a homemade pizza that's clean. Go live about that, showing you making the pizza. Yeah, oh, that's what it is. Yeah, the magic starts to happen around number 5. But I think that by doing it on your like page, what I'm trying to get the point across is that by doing it on your like page, if you go for like, oh, I'm going to do it every day this week for like 7 days or 30 for 30, it won't be as scary because your like page is not as reached as your personal page. And you will but you'll be building all of that up. And then if you have a great one, share those. Maybe those are the things you should share to your personal page. Let's see. So she said that you want your Facebook Lives to be thumb stopping. So, most people are in the car looking at their phone during a red light, or, while they're waiting for their coffee at Starbucks, whatever. They don't really have that much time. They're not really sitting there scrolling the feed for an hour. So you want your live to be thumb stopping. Now that just means pretty much it's you, obviously, in a graphic, but make that line something worthy of them stopping to listen in. A a lot of good tips she said were thinking of, she called them like need occasions. So what is it that your audience needs from you? And that could be something you go live on. So for instance, what does your audience need right now? And she used this example. When you have a problem, where do you immediately turn to? Like most people. Most people will
Google.
Oh, yeah. Right. So when you have a problem, most people turn to Google to figure it out. So she said, be those people's Googles. So is the need that they need to drop 20 pounds? Is the need they need to fit into a wedding dress? I actually was excited about that because I said to Molly, I nudged her and I said, I actually have an ad out right now for a video that says, do you need to fit into a sleeveless Halloween costume and get those arms looking good? And I was like, oh, see, I am doing something right. Do you need to have more energy? Do you need to transform your body? Do you need to be a part of just a fun, uplifting group? Do you need to belong to something? Like quick grabs so people know who to know what's, stop worthy. Let's see. Did that. Okay, and then these are some other tips she gave for like pages, but I would suggest them also for your personal pages. You don't want to link any YouTube videos to your pages or your regular page. Because YouTube and Facebook are not friends, just like Facebook and Snapchat are not friends. So if you talk about them, they're going to hide you because they want people on Facebook. They don't want people to get redirected to YouTube and then be over there for 6 hours. Same thing with Snapchat. Facebook doesn't own Snapchat. And if you post your logo and, follow me over on Snapchat for this week's antics, they're not going to like that either. And I've noticed I've done those a couple times and they don't get much. If you do any live videos, you want to upload them in HD. So at the end, when you hit end video, it'll come up and it'll say post now, but there'll be an option that says upload in HD on or off. You want to upload HD on because it has something to do with the pixels and the way that the video looks, but they want the best, highest quality on theirs. And then she also said, and I thought this was interesting, don't use the word ask in your posts because Facebook sees that as you are seeking something out or looking for someone to buy something, and they don't want it to be like that. So come up with a different way than to use ask. Or, do you want to join my challenge group? Things like that. And then someone else talked about this, which Molly and I both really liked. And it's called so I know all the time, and I've gone in the page and talked about it, I have times where I'm just not today, not today, business activity tracker or whatever. And there are days where I'm just I don't want to check into the group. I don't want to go on Facebook. I don't want to do anything. And then you're oh, it's Thursday and I'm not making any money. What am I doing this for? Well, we all know, and your coach has made it very transparent when you've signed up that this is not to get rich quick. And I think I say that a lot, but it's so important because if you're doing this solely with the intention of, what's that paycheck going to look like on Thursday, guys, this is going to be so hard. Like, it's not going to be fun. It's going to like take the life out of you. So when you have those moments, a coach suggested this, and I thought it was a really great idea, and I've already started to do it. But make a folder on your computer, a note in your phone, a Google Forms, you can go on there and it's totally free. But start compiling every good thing that has happened to you, every good message you've gotten from a challenger, every good, story, every good transformation someone's posted in your challenge group. Compile them, because when you have those shitty days, and it's going to happen a lot, like you're in the business of network marketing and helping people get healthy, which is the hardest thing out there to do. And people just like to give up. So it's going to be hard. And so when you have those days, pull up this file and take a look at it. So, show you mine. It's only got 2 things in it right now. You guys see this? Yes. So I just did the dog. I just did a Google form, and I just started taking some of the messages that some of my challengers sent me and some other people have sent me. So this one right here is like one that I got right before I went away. And I was just like, oh my God. And I swear to you guys, like, you're going to have, like I said, so many of these days. But when you have those days and you look at what really matters, helping people change their life, whether it's physically, mentally, just socially, or financially, like the next day you're going to wake up and you're going to have messages like these. And it's just crazy because it has happened to me more times than I can count. And it's like, God, how does God know? Like, he keeps like giving me these signals every time I want to like stop. He keeps giving me these signals that like just solidify this is right and we should be doing this. So make a folder like this. If it's pictures from your challengers, whatever, from your coaches, from your team, just anything. And pull it up every time you feel like, shit's just not going your way. Let's see. So, let's see. I'm going to stop talking your ear off, but basically there's a lot more, and I'm going to like start compiling and going through notes, and we'll do more calls on over the next couple weeks about some things that they talked about. But I think that those were the biggest takeaways. Like, you guys got to get your things seen. You got to go live. That is the most undervalued way to be seen on Facebook, and Facebook wants you to use that. So they're going to push you up in people's feeds if you do. So if you just go live once a day on your like page, share it or don't share it, or, still be building your brand and who you are and figuring that out and being you, that's going to really help you get your live videos in people's streams, and then they're going to go to your page and they're going to see what you're about. Because I can tell you, the people that become like us and really get this and really want this are the people that were seeking it beforehand. We were the ones who were like watching our coach's page for like months at a time. We're like, I'm not going to reach out yet. She's nuts. I'm not going to do this. She's nuts. And then it finally clicked and you got it because you were watching and we were real and we were talking about real life. So let's just be doing that. So I'll be honest, and maybe Molly can shed some light on this too, about a like page versus a website. There are really like no coaches that really do websites. They kind of just do them to have sort of like create an email list of people. Has something like a landing page where someone can go, but they don't use that as their sole source for growing their business. It's social media. It's the Facebook, the Instagram. And I just think that it's a lot harder to most people. Like, I forget what they said the stat was. It was like something ridiculous. Like how many users they said are on Facebook a day and for how many hours in the country. It was like disturbingly high. But most people aren't on websites anymore, just like surfing around, finding stuff. So they're not going to find your website unless you put it out there on your Facebook and they're going to it, which I'm the person who I hate clicking on links because I'm like, I got to go to this other page now. Like, that's just annoying. I just want to stay on this page. I just want to be on this feed. So if there's a link, typically I'm not going to click it. If you are putting your link out there like that, it might turn people off. I don't know. I don't know. I've had no problem. I know most of the coaches who have been on the team for longer have had no problem growing their business on social media. I don't know anyone personally who has grown it on a website. Okay. Maybe I'm reading the wrong thing then. I can't find stuff. Oh, okay. Well, yeah. So if you're using, you're using your website to save stuff and archive, that's fine, because that's like what people do. They'll put like a recipe over there, and then when someone asks for it, sorry guys, sorry. When somebody asks for it, they know where it is. Sorry, I was thinking, I still think, yes, a like page is important if you have a website, because same thing, people aren't going to go, people aren't going to just go to your website to see all your daily posts about you. Like, that's going to be on Facebook. So yes, I think that should still be on your Facebook. Have fun with your Facebook like page. Create one, just have fun with it. I had fun when I created mine. You can go to this thing called Fiverr. It's fiverr.com. Everything's $5. You can like send them, I want my cover photo to be this color with these 3 pictures, and they'll make it look like pretty. I can't do that stuff. So for $5, I had someone do it. Just have fun with it. Make it be you. That way when someone comes to the page and they're like, Fiverr, 5, like F-I-V, yeah. That'd be it. Yeah, that's it. So just have fun with it. But I will say, continue to be yourself and market yourself on your personal page, but use this like page once a day. And if it's you doing your live through there, that's perfect. Yeah, mine are not pretty either when I make them, Jude. But so, okay, let's see. Anything else, Mel? Sorry, guys, I'm not 100% on my game tonight, so I don't feel bad.
No, you're good. No, the only other thing I was going to say was when Megan was talking about the kudos folder, like, that's something I'm like, oh, I wish I had started that when I, like a year or whatever ago when I had started coaching, because now I'm just would be going forward instead of digging through messages and stuff. But the person that recommended doing that was an 11-star diamond, like elite coach on stage at Summit, and then fell to diamond or maybe even below that. And was just like, going to give up, and then decided to climb her way back up. And so the first thing she did, she was like, I started printing out writing down like everything anyone nice had said. I posted it all around my office. And then I literally just looked at what I had done as an 11 star and what I was doing now, and I started doing what the difference was. So I just thought that was good. Like, we all have doubts, and anytime you're kind of feeling like, you know, today I'm not really about this, or maybe next month I'm not about this, it's always good to go back and see all of those things and why you're doing. My cat's going crazy. You guys hear him?
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that was it. And then with the everything was about like pages. Like, that's, I feel like, the way forward, and how most people are building their market now. So probably I feel like blogs and websites were like a thing of the past. Like, that's how a lot of the older coaches kind of made waves. But now that like pages and the live video and all of that's out there, that's been the focus. So I would focus your energy on those things if you're looking to start something.
Yes. Oh, Gia. Okay. And to kind of just go along with that, whatever your goal is for yourself, whatever your goal is for yourself, like, when you reach that goal, don't just stop there. Like, I want you to look at it like this. If your goal is Emerald and you reach Emerald and you're like, woohoo, Emerald, like, I made $14 this week. Like, no, like, you need to keep going. You cannot stop, because look at it this way. Just because you hit Emerald doesn't mean you created, that you stopped. Like, no. Just because you hit Emerald, just because you hit Diamond, like, you hit your goal doesn't mean you're done. Doesn't mean that everybody else has now been helped. That's not the case. There are still so many people out there to be helped. And so that's why you just got to keep moving on. Like, if you're not constantly changing and you're not constantly growing, then you're just going to like fall backwards and have to dig yourself out. And I don't want you guys to like have to go through like figuring out who you are and like what you're doing in your life. Like, that's the whole part of you being in a challenge group as a challenger, is to get your shit together and be the best you can be and, you know, help others do that. We all have our moments and our times. If we're like, shit's going to happen and fall out of place, but just don't think that you're done because you reached a certain goal, or like, oh, I made $150 this week. Like, I covered my shake. I'm done. Like, no. Like, are you done? Or are there still 2 million people in America to help that have never heard of Beachbody or, you know, 21 Day Fix or whatever? No, there's still more people to help. So you're not done. And if you are done, then let's chat. And it's okay if you're done, but you're not done. And then I was just going to end real quick. They did a little like panel of some coaches. They just gave like one little snippet. I know. See, I like it better when I'm real rather than reading notes. They had a bunch of coaches come out and they just gave like one-liners on just some things to remember. And so I like took a few of them that I really think are important. But just about like, since Jean said being real and stuff again, guys, nobody's gonna push you in this like you're gonna push yourself. Nobody's gonna make you excel in this business and grow like yourself. I can only do so much. Molly can only do so much. You know, we can only say like, you know, submit your BAT. Let me see that you did the stuff. And, you know, I can only say that so many times. I can only tell you like, you know, literally you just need to find 3 people a month to help. and you will continuously grow. And you can do that because if I can start out with 135 friends on Facebook, literally someone who is a wallflower who throws up at like the thought of having to like present anything, I know each one of you guys can do this because I didn't have team calls to get on when I first started, but I can tell you that if they were offered, I probably wouldn't have because my face would be on there like your guys are right now, and it would scare the living daylights out of me that someone was going to call on me. Like I keep calling on you guys. Like it would scare me. So the fact that you're here, the fact that you're showing up just like proves that you can do this. All right, so just real quick. When hard things happen in your life, lean into them. So when something's going wrong, don't look at it as like, oh, can't do my beach body work today. Can't be a good coach. Something just bad just happened. No, lean into that hard and climb over it. I don't care if you have to climb over the rock, walk around the rock, bang on that rock until it chisels down to nothing. You got this. Like, get there. Make your priorities weave into Beachbody. So a lot of people, I don't have time. I don't have a network. I don't have anybody to talk to. I don't have time to meal prep. I don't. No. You got, take your kids somewhere. Jody's got to go to theater, whatever. Like you got work during the day. You weave your priorities for Beachbody into all of that. So a lot of you already do that. You do your personal development when you can, like when you're in the car rides, you're drinking your shake on set instead of having whatever pizza they have behind the curtain. I don't know. So you weave your priorities of Beachbody, of being healthy, of being fit, of living this lifestyle and showing it into what's going on. Let's see. This one I really liked because I think it's very easy to forget and get caught up. But you always, number one, always need to be a challenger. So if you are not in a challenge group, if you are not running a challenge group, if you are not committed to a fitness program, if you are not drinking your shake every day, if you are not doing personal development every day, and you come to us and you're like, this business isn't working. I'm trying. It's not working. Those are the things we're going to say. Are you in a challenge group? Are you committed to 80-20 lifestyle? Did you drink your shake today? And you have no idea how many coaches tell me, didn't drink it. I have a back stock. Well, don't tell me that this didn't work because you're not being a challenger. And the challenge is where it begins. This was a really great one too. Kind of just hones in the same thing. If you do nothing else as a coach, if you have no time in the day for anything else, but you want to be a coach and grow, you need to do your workout. You need to drink your shake. You need to read. You need to read 10 minutes. I don't care if it's while you're eating dinner. I don't care if it's while you're prepping. I don't care if it's while you're, in the shower. Figure it out. You need to read. And you need to post. So in that order, workout, shake, read, post. If you're not doing those things, it's not going to work. And then this one was really interesting, and I'll just end it with this. And I thought this was good for everybody, including myself. You need to follow people on social media that are only like 3 to 6 months ahead of where you're at. It is only going to do you so much good to follow Melanie Mitro and Janelle Summers and, Mindy Lawhorn, whoever, I don't even know all our coaches, all our top coaches, Brittany Powers. It is only going to do you so much good to follow them, but you're really just going to be hurting yourself because you're going to be like, why can't I get the success that they're getting? Well, because you're nowhere near where they're at. Melanie Mitro has been a coach for 5 years. Brittany Powers has been a coach for 2 years, but she works this business 10 hours a day. So don't compare yourself. So you need to find someone that is similar to you in the lifestyle, in your season of life, and you need to follow them. They're a little bit ahead of you, And that's who you need to follow and kind of use them as a guide to where you want to be. Does that kind of make sense? Yeah. Okay. I know we can get all caught up in looking at the top coaches and things like that, but really we kind of can't. Yeah, so that's it. I don't know. I hope this was helpful. Platinum Edge is definitely, now that I've gone twice and been to Summit once, the top thing that I feel like people should be at if they want to grow their business. Summit is amazing, and it's definitely something that everybody needs to experience once. But if you are legitimately wanting to grow your business, this is where you're going to get like the meat and potatoes, and where they're bringing in the best people to talk to you, to give you advice. We had amazing speakers outside of Beachbody, like 4 or 5 of them had nothing to do with Beachbody. She even brought in a couple from another MLM company that are now were the top male and female in their network marketing company within 2 years, and have now gone on to step aside from that. They sold their spot and they just do coaching now for network marketing. And she brought them in to teach us. So, I thought that was pretty awesome, because if you're associated with other MLM, like, why would we even think we'd want to like hear from them? But everybody was amazing. It's definitely worth it. Definitely worth the investment in your business. And I can say last year when I went as a diamond, and within, less than a year, because it was at the end of November, I'm 2-star, close to 3-star. So I definitely think it helps. And that had been never being to Summit. So that's that. That's it. Any questions? Anything anybody wants to? Close, Jed, close, not yet. But keep your fingers crossed. Yes. Yeah, we did. We had time for a lot of relaxing. Yeah, so that's a really good point, Janine. And something else that I think is important to remember. All network marketing is pretty much the same. It's only going to work if you make it work too. So you got to find your jam. You got to find what you like. But if you do the same work and network, you're going to be successful at it. So, I know some people think, oh, this business, Beachbody didn't work, I'm going to hop to another MLM. Like, well, if you're not going to do the work, that's not going to be successful either. So don't just think it's, the company. All right. Well, that's it, guys. That's all I got.